Noni from the Hernandez unit under the Festine Action Group, and I'm here to. I've been asked to share some of my insights about being on ECQ, and however stressful or worrisome our current situation is, there's a deep part of me that sees our ECQ as a time of grace. And allow me to share with you how a short anecdote. You see, my father is PH 4621. He's the 461st COVID positive patient in the Philippines. Papa was feeling a bit under the weather during the weekend of our BCMR last March 7 and 8. But he still managed to go to our house from theirs in Manila on Sunday the 8th to have Sunday dinner with my family for my daughter's birthday. He was sick all throughout the week after, and they went to the ER in UST on the 15th, where he was diagnosed with pneumonia. Since Papa displayed all of the risk factors and symptoms, he was made a PUI and was the first patient hospitalized in the COVID wing of the UST. He was given the test on Monday, the 16th, but it took 7 days for it to come back. The first thing I did when I woke up on Monday morning was to ask for prayers for my father from the BCBP. Because we didn't know how he was doing because we weren't allowed to stay with him. He had his phone, but he wouldn't be in the mood to talk or text. And at times that he did were only to ask that we call the nurses on duty because his room didn't have a call button, to either ask for a change of IV or to bring him his food. And you know what? The BCBB prayed. They prayed for my papa. Our prayer warriors stormed the heaven for him and for the many other friends and family members of the community through the intercessory group. My unit head JR and my AG head Bing and our friends, the Bailons and Gatpaitans, also regularly checked up on me about my papa's status and assured me of the community's prayers. There are things about his confinement that make me and my family realize how God's hand truly works with us. While all of the other hospitals were filling up with patients, my dad didn't have a problem getting a room. One of the earliest fatalities of COVID was the father of my sister's friend. And he was brought to the Asian Hospital ER around the same time my dad was. And as far as I know, he passed away while still in the ER. And he was there for 3 days. In social media now, I hear of stories of people who died in triage, waiting for treatment, waiting for hospital to get them. What we do know is that if my papa didn't go to the hospital when he did, to that specific hospital, he might not have been able to get his treatment and he might not have been able to get better. By the time his result came back positive, however, it didn't matter because he felt better already. I was so grateful, and I still am so grateful for all the prayers that we've had, that I asked Bobby Tadrendido to add me to the intercessory group so that I too can pray for the people who have selflessly prayed for me and my family. Papa's confinement has made this whole thing so real, and it makes our prayer time as a family, for me, Cats, and our kids, so important. Pre-COVID, we didn't pray together. We had our own prayer times. Some Cats would pray with the kids sometimes. But now we pray the rosary together daily. And this is something that has to continue even after the lockdown. I am also inspired by the acts of generosity I see on and offline. Never mind that the government has been slow in providing help to some people, we've got each other's backs. So it's a period of grace. I know it's frightening, it's tough, and I don't know what's going to happen. And in a way, it's like an extended Holy Week. And I'm sure that the apostles felt much, much worse that Friday and Saturday 2,000 years ago. But boy, when Sunday came, when Easter came, It's a different feeling altogether, and it's a different world. And as someone who tries to live by faith, that comforts me. It is dark now, but I know I'm not alone. We're not alone. We have each other, and in each other, we act like Jesus to one another. In faith, I believe that we will have our Sunday. We will have our Easter. And then when that time comes, much like for the apostles, the world cannot continue on how it did before. We have to make sure that we wake up to a better world after this quarantine and after this pandemic. We have to wake up to a better world. We have to make a better world because we owe that to the people that have been sick and have healed, those who have been sick and have gone on and died, to those who are working on the front lines, to those working in other services and industries, and most especially to those who are with us in our homes. Thank you very much for listening to my musings. Let us all continue to pray for one another, and I do hope to have breakfast with all of you very, very soon.